Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice takes us back to the English countryside in the early 1800s. It's a world of grand estates, elegant balls, and rigid social structures. Life revolves around society's rules, especially for young women seeking marriage. This is where we meet the Bennet family.
The pressure is on me to find suitable husbands for my 5 daughters. Marriage is not simply about love. It's an economic necessity for women in this era. A good marriage means security and social standing. A poor one could mean financial ruin.
Among the Bennet sisters, Elizabeth stands out. She's witty, independent, and determined to marry for love, not just convenience. Elizabeth challenges the expectations placed upon women. She values intellect and genuine connection. Austen paints a vivid picture of the importance of social class. Wealth and connections matter. They determine who you can marry and where you stand in society. The arrival of Mr. Bingley, a wealthy bachelor, sends ripples of excitement through the Bennet family.
Bingley represents the promise of social mobility. I see him as the perfect match for one of my daughters. His friend, Mr. Darcy, is even wealthier and more aloof. Darcy's pride and Elizabeth's prejudice create an immediate clash.
Bingley represents the promise of social mobility. Mrs. Bennet sees him as the perfect match for one of her daughters. His friend, Mr. Darcy, is even wealthier and more aloof. Darcy's pride and Elizabeth's prejudice create an immediate clash. From their first encounter, Elizabeth and Darcy are at odds. He finds her family beneath him, her wit a bit too sharp. She judges his arrogance and his dismissal of those he deems inferior. Their conversations are filled with witty banter and veiled insults.
Darcy's arrogance is insufferable. He dismisses those he deems inferior, and I can't stand it.
Elizabeth misjudges Darcy's character, influenced by Wickham, a charming soldier with a hidden agenda. Wickham feeds Elizabeth's prejudice against Darcy, further fueling her dislike.
Elizabeth's wit is sharp, but her judgments are harsh. She doesn't see the full picture.
The turning point comes when Darcy, stripped of his usual composure, confesses his love for Elizabeth. She rejects him, her anger and hurt palpable. His pride has blinded him to her worth, while her prejudice has prevented her from seeing his true nature.
Elizabeth, I love you. Against my better judgment, my family, and even my own will, I love you.
How could you think I would accept you? Your pride has blinded you to my worth.
This rejection forces both characters to confront their flaws. Darcy sheds his arrogance, revealing his kindness and generosity through his actions. Elizabeth begins to see past her own prejudices, recognizing the good in Darcy. Their journey is not easy. They must overcome societal pressures, family drama, and their own stubbornness, but through it all their love deepens.
Maybe, just maybe, I was wrong about him.
And I was blind to what truly matters.
In the end, Pride and Prejudice reminds us that love requires understanding, forgiveness, and the willingness to see beyond our own limitations. It's a timeless story that continues to resonate today, reminding us that sometimes love is worth fighting for.